Hey guys, and welcome back. So let's take a look at the scene now. This is my ground geometry, and this is the surrounding ground, and it's overlapping a bit here. Maybe I should have moved it up, but for now it's gonna be fine with the texture and everything. And then I have a range of mountains surrounding this entire scene, and I've used attribute transfer to blend them nicely. It's not amazing, but this is what I was able to get in a short period of time. And I wanted to change the ground here so that I have some coverage. If I wanted to go like this, I have a mountain or details in front of it, because if it was flat, I wouldn't be able to do that. If it was super flat, I wouldn't have those details. And this is just to create depth in the scene. So I have camera, let's see. So this camera. So I wanted to be able to create something like this, and that's why I have this cavity or this change in terrain, and then this flat ground so that I can put the light idea here and do whatever I need to do to make the scene behave the way I want it. So I'm gonna copy and paste some lights, which are the main lights that I've used, and then I'll show what they look like. So for now, I've assigned a white shader to everything, and I'm gonna include this, and this. And I'm gonna copy the names of these objects. Let's create a textbook. So I need the ground coverage, the RBD outer, and the mountain coverage, and they all share the RBD preview. We're gonna look through Cam1, and the new light is called new red front. Right now it's set up to use a shader, so I'm gonna change it to simple color for now. And let's go to the out context, and let's plug this here. So I'm gonna use the sky dome and this light, and I'm gonna need the three objects that we've selected. Okay, cool. So it's working, and let's go back to the environment, to the sky dome, and lower this. Okay, I'm gonna set this to 1. Just to get a nice feel here. I'm gonna desaturate this color. I don't need it to be very blue. And let's lower the intensity to 0.03. And so this is the first light. I'm gonna show in the viewport how it looks like. Yeah, when we switch the viewer, it's gonna reprocess SOPs again. So I'm gonna hide this, and I'm gonna hide the RBD core. Okay, so this is the new light that I just pasted. It's an area light, okay, and it's very thin, and it has 100. The height is 100 units, and I'm tilting it just a bit down so that the shadow is not parallel to the ground, and it's shooting down a bit. Now, if we looked at this here, you can see that the light is very strong here and then doesn't decay properly, doesn't have a nice decay, and I want to fix that. So the way to do that in Arnold is using a shader, a light shader. Sorry, not a light shader. Yes. Is to use the decay option. So let me create a new light, Arnold light, and then if we go under filter, it's empty by default, so we create a decay. And I'm gonna connect this under light filter, and now we can say I want the decay to start from 200 units all the way to 250. So once it reaches maybe here, it's gonna start decaying. Okay, and that's what's happening right now. But I needed more control over the light. So I wanted to change the color based on the distance, and also add some noise to it so it's not very uniform. And to do that, we need to use a light shader. So in the area light, we change this to a light shader, and then if I dive inside, you can see I have a color mixing between these two. So the decay is going to give us this fall off, which starts at 250 and ends at 350. And then if we change this range, let's say to 280, for example, and hit render again, it's going to affect how soon the light decays. So that we're telling it to start decaying at 250 and then needs to be completely off by 280, and that's how long it has to do this transition. Now another thing I wanted to do with this light is to have the core have a more desaturated color, brighter white, and then the surrounding edges I want them to have red tone or be more saturated. You can see here it stopped at this point, so let's change this to 350, maybe 500. You can see it continues all the way to the end. So 350 is what I used, and then the other thing I wanted is to have brighter tone in the center and then more saturated colors around the edges. So what I've done is I've created this map here, and it's just a radial mask, and then I'm going to use it to mix between two colors. I want here to have a more saturated color, and as it gets towards the center, it's going to have less desaturated color. So I import that image, and then I use it to mix between my two nodes. And here I can change this to blue, for example, and you'll see the center is blue, and then the surrounding is still using that previous color. And this is just to have a slight variation so it's not uniform. So this is the main light. Okay, so the next light is I wanted to have a top light that simulates a cloud or sky or something like that. And I wasn't 100% sure how to utilize this, but I wanted to have it anyway. So I'm gonna paste the light, and it's called new top white. It's not 100% straight down, because if we have it straight down, then it's gonna look, it's gonna flatten everything. So I wanted to have some sort of inclination, and it casts shadows in an interesting way. So that's my second light. It's just an area light that points downward, and it has a nice tilt, and I'm naming them properly. So this is red, this is top, and I'm gonna paste all of them except the one we pasted. So these are all the lights that I've created for the scene. I think one of them is not working, and let me unhide this. So this is my front light, okay, and this is a top light shooting down, and this is a fill light just to have something that covers this, because I wanted to make sure that these parts, these curvatures, are getting hit by a different light, and then they would cast shadows here. And then this light is pointing in the wrong direction, so I'm going to rotate it. This is the blue light I wanted to have as a fill, and its positioning doesn't make a lot of sense, but it worked. So this is the one responsible for that volumetric effect on the back. So this and this, and it's simply a spotlight with a large cone and a large lens radius, soft radius. And then this one, which is the last one, is the one casting shadows onto the from the mountain onto the ground. And I'm gonna look through that. It's called new set view. Which one is it? New spot sun. And I can use this to aim the lights, the shadows, like this, and make sure that it casts this in here. And that's it really in terms of lighting. So I'm gonna include all of these, or I don't have any more lights, so I'm gonna delete this. And let's see which one. Yeah, this is front, this is sky dome. I'm gonna delete my sky dome, and I'm gonna include all the lights, that's all. I don't think I have this. Yeah, I think that one is coming from somewhere else. So that these are all the lights I need. I'm gonna hit render, and then we'll continue in the next video setting up the AUVs for the various lights and check them. And I'll go over the lighting again and then start doing some shading. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.